I said, no ma'am, don't do that. Because that creates information overload, okay? And that's the point of having a study guide, so we can go straight to the facts, straight to the point, straight to the material, and get what it is that we need to get, okay? That's the meat and potatoes, right?
Hide and seek till I found you, oh, I found you, oh, I found you, yeah, you.
Hey Nurse Besties, it's your girl Dominica, aka Nurse Nakia. I'm back with a new video. If you're new here, my name is Dominica. I go by Nurse Nakia here on YouTube. On this channel, we talk all things nursing. So if that's something you may be interested in, click the subscribe button down below and join the natural nurse community. Okay, again, y'all, welcome back to the Nursing School Glow Up series, y'all. This series has really been taking off. I'm so glad it is helping lots and lots of nursing students around the world to kind of maneuver through nursing school, okay? And coming from someone like myself who has been a CNA, who has been an LPN, who is currently now an RN, I am here to say I really want to just share my strategies and my examples and my experiences to help guys like you get through nursing school, okay? So anyhow, in today's video, we basically going to be in today's episode, we basically are going to be discussing what you can do to help prep for exam day, okay? So this is the exam prep glow up episode, and we finna get right into it. So I have a few strategies for you guys, okay? So coming in at number 1, I always say, teach it out loud. If you can teach the information out loud to, a sister, brother, friend, cousin, mom, dad, grandparent, wife, husband, whomever, or even another classmate, if you can teach a disease process out loud, whatever subject or topic that you guys are covering at that moment in time, if you can teach it back, some people call it the teach back method. If you can teach it back to someone else, 9 out of 10, okay, matter of fact, 10 out of 10, you understood the assignment, okay? 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10, you understand the concept, okay? And let me just be the first to say, if you're not able to teach it back, if you're not able to explain that disease process or that subject to someone else, it doesn't mean that you're a failure. It just means that topic means that you need to focus in a little bit more on that topic or that disease process or that subject or whatever the case may be, okay? Okay, so moving along to strategy number 2. So remember those study guides that we were talking about in the study material glow up episode? So what I never did show you guys was how long those study guides were. So strategy exam 2, you don't need a 20-page study guide. Don't do it. I wish I had showed y'all how many pages, but that study guide that I normally have for each exam is honestly, is about 3 to 4 pages of a study guide, and sometimes depending on the exam, it could be narrowed down into 2, of course, front and back, right? But those study guides that I were using, it was not 20-30 page study guides. No ma'am, don't do that. Because that creates information overload, okay? And that's the point of having a study guide, so we can go straight to the facts, straight to the point, straight to the material, and get what it is that we need to get, okay? That's the meat and potatoes, right? So you want to make sure that study guide is benefiting you and not hindering you, okay? So the night before the exam, you shouldn't be looking through a 20-page study guide. I mean, just don't do it. Yeah, like I said, it's going to hurt you more than it's going to help you. So try to keep those study guides down to a minimum, all right? Moving on. Okay, so moving on to the next strategy, guys. You want to study in short time blocks, okay? You don't want to study for 3 to 4 hours straight. I know that is easy to do, okay, because it happened to me a million times. You in the middle of a study session, it's getting real good. You just going and going, writing notes, listening to YouTube videos, and, going through your chapters or using your study guides. Before you know it, you look up and 3 hours then flew past just that quick. Okay, it's a few times my kids had to come up here and say, excuse me, Mom, you've been up here way too long. You need a break. And they're right. That was a wake-up call. I was like, oh, wow, I do need time. I do need to break up my study time. And also, I perform way better on my exams when I began to break up my study time. So I ended up getting a clock like this from Amazon, okay? Or you could just use your phone if you want. Set a timer. 60 minutes, 45 minutes, set a timer. Okay, study for that 60 minutes, break for 15, 20 minutes, go grab a snack. I don't know, scroll on YouTube, TikTok, whatever it is that you guys do. Just give your mind a break and then come back, okay? Long study sessions does not equal better retention, okay? Not at all. Your brain learns best in short, focused blocks, okay? So keep that in mind. And you can repeat that 2 to 3 times, okay? And I'm just saying these are things that work for me, and hopefully it can help someone else. And plus, if you're exhausted, you're not learning anyway. You just storing information, okay? So just keep that in mind. So moving on to the next strategy, y'all. One of the biggest glow up strategies you can do for the exam, y'all, is to prepare your mind mentally. Okay, and what I used to do, and especially for my test takers who have a little bit of anxiety or a lot of anxiety like myself, I was not a good test taker, but you can prep yourself mentally for the exam. What I would do is get my laptop, go in a quiet environment, put away my phone, all devices, all of that good stuff, turn on my laptop, pull up 10 questions, 15 questions, and just imagine myself in a testing center taking the real exam. Okay, that relieves a lot of stress and that removes a lot of anxiety. So when the real deal comes, because it's gonna come, when the real deal comes, your mind is a little bit at ease. Okay, so that is something that definitely has helped me over the years. Actually, that has helped me with my NCLEX as well too. So just keep that in mind. All right, moving on to the next strategy. Last but not least, guys, review weak areas only. And when I say only, I mean like the night before the exam. Okay, don't just only weak areas throughout, but that night of that exam, if you're still studying, or 2 days before that exam, if you're going over important information, try to hit those weak areas. Because let me tell you, a lot of times, and this has happened to me before, a lot of times that is going to be the main information that's on the test that's going to throw you for the loop. The ones that you struggle with the most. So you want to give that your undivided attention. And I want to give you guys a really, really quick prime example of when I was in OB. Okay, when I was in OB, I never want to be an OB nurse. Okay, shout out to the ones who do. You guys are awesome. Okay, I love that for you. But yes, when I was in my OB course, those stages and phases of labor, honey, it was something else. I don't know why it never stuck for me, but it just never did. Okay, and it was other students that could just ramble it off just like that, and I was like, okay. No, I'm kidding. But it was other students who really knew, like OB really stuck for them. And when I was in OB, it was just those stages and those phases that gave me the hardest time. So I made sure that I gave that my undivided attention when it was time to test. Okay, now fast forward to something like when I was in maternal health and we had to learn like the disease processes in maternal health, like the different personality disorders. Honey, the personality disorders, and I never want to be a psych nurse either. So those of you who want to be a psych nurse, I love that for you. But I never wanted to be a psych nurse, y'all. But those personality disorders was like this. If you ask me a mental health question about those personality disorders, I can ramble it off to you so quick, fast, in a hurry without even having to think about it. Why? Because that information stuck really, really well for me. So I say all that to say this. If you're struggling with a certain area, a certain disease, a certain topic, subject, please give that your undivided attention and make sure you know it and make sure you're able to teach it back to someone else. That just lets you know that you understand the concept. And my final encouragement to you guys on exam day, you don't need to study all day for hours and hours and hours to be successful with this exam, okay? You just need rest, you need confidence, and you need strategy, okay? You guys got the study material, you guys got the exam glow up, you guys got all the things you need to do the best that you can to maneuver through this program. And if it doesn't apply, let it fly, okay? So again, thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you again next week with more glow up information on how to succeed in nursing school.